You see what happened to them over and over and over and over and over and over. For you to think that you are exempt, for you to think that, oh, I'm cool, that my friends would never do this to me. They would never do that. Okay.
I want to be on somebody's boat. I want to be going skydiving. I want to be in the rainforest of Costa Rica. Please sign me up. I will gladly be your token black. To be honest, you guys have the most fun. You guys are the most adventurous. You guys are the most crazy.
Some sort of color is needed other than you. I don't care if they're Mexican, they could be Hispanic, but something, you need some other form of color. My kids could never. They've been there ever. You can't go to an Easter egg hunt.
And I was like, well, why am I the only black friend that you have? And her response was, because you're a different black.
What's up, y'all? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Yeah, we're following through. We're being consistent.
If you're gonna come out, bitch. But if you not, sit down.
Being the only black friend isn't quirky. Okay, bye. Truth is, I'm tired, okay? I'm gonna try not to drag white people too much in this video, but no promises.
Nice. I'm finding it. It take you that long to find it?
It does.
There's been a conversation going around about being the only black friend. Most of y'all already know, but this topic has been connected to the recent passing of Nolan Xavier Wells, a high school football star from Mississippi who was last seen on an excursion with 3 other white boys and was later found dead. But what the black community wants to know is why. Well, we know why they killed him, but why are so many of us exposing ourselves to friendships and environments where they could care less about our safety because they've never had to think about their own? I feel like dynamics like this are becoming more and more common. From my personal experience, I've never had to talk about how important my blackness is or even to stay away from white people in that way. I grew up in a very self-hating household, actually. So throughout middle school and high school, I was always navigating spaces that didn't look like me.
Your problem is that you really want to be a white girl.
I've been called a white boy simply for liking Converse. That shit's crazy. In Martin Luther King's book, Why We Can't Wait, he described tokenism as a tool for minimal acceptance to keep mainstream society segregated without enacting true structural change. Tokenism was introduced in the 1960s so that corporations could avoid lawsuits, meet their quota, and protect their brand from accusations of racism. Not only is this still happening, but on a personal level, people are still befriending black people to cover up their racism. Beyonce Kyle said, the one thing about this white generation is that y'all weak as hell compared to y'all ancestors. When they didn't like black people, they didn't like black people. They wasn't trying to befriend us and do spiritual warfare on the back end.
Every dark-sided person get out of my house. If you believe in Jesus, you can stay here. Don't stay in my house if you're dark-sided.
You niggas who think that y'all are the token black dude in y'all friend group because you got a whole bunch of white friends and y'all think y'all so cool because they chose you. They picked your ass, nigga boy. They chose you. You the lucky one. They think you cool. You ain't ghetto like them. You ain't like Tyrone and DeAndre and Keandre and them. You don't act like that. You have all of this and this and this and this, and you so much better than all of us niggas, honey. But now your ass dead. You so much better than us niggas. And I have a personal opinion about it heavily from 2 situations. The first one really goes, the most close one that I'm dealing with, well, not even dealing with. I was in a relationship with someone for over 3.5 years, and I just feel like it ain't no I feel like, he was making sure that all his friends around him was white. This man was 45 years old. I didn't never understand why he didn't have no black nigga friends. For 45 years living in this world, I almost felt like he had a white man living in his body, because I just don't understand. 45 years and you ain't got one nigga friend? Okay, whatever. So he associates himself with nothing but white people, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. What they say, preference ain't whatever, the preference bullshit, all of that, right? So in my opinion, if that's what your preference is, I'm not even mad at the white people anymore for sacrificing y'all ass. I'm not mad at them for unaliving y'all, because in my opinion, there have been too many stories, too much that's happened in black history, in American history, where you've seen what happens to that black person who is the only person to hang around white people. You've seen what happened to them over and over and over and over and over and over. For you to think that you are exempt, for you to think that, oh, I'm cool, that my friends would never do this to me, they would never do that. Okay. And to all the people who have long-lasting interracial friendships and relationships, this is not for y'all necessarily, because most people, those people who are in those kind of situations, for the most part, it's a mixed group going on. It ain't just oh, you just this and we don't know no other black people, or oh, you just this and we don't know no other white people. It's a mixed bag. You know, we went to high school together, we went to middle school together. My cousin know your cousin, you know, something like that. But you special token type of black boys, and y'all know which ones I'm talking about, who think that y'all are exempt and y'all gonna just hang around all the white boys and y'all gonna do all the cool white stuff, and nothing's gonna happen to y'all. Baby, good luck. Good luck. I pray nothing happens to y'all. I'm just really disappointed. I'm angry, obviously, that the boy lost his life, but I'm more angry and upset that there are so many black people who continually hang around white people and not think that they won't be touched. And I'm not saying that all white people are dangerous. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you need to be mindful and aware of your surroundings no matter who is around you, white, black, Puerto Rican, or Asian. You need to be knowing what's going on. And I would honestly advise you to not be the only one, period, in any group. Because if you're the only one, why isn't there other ones around in the same friend group? What? That don't make sense to y'all? That ain't a question that come in y'all head that, why y'all don't have no other friends? Oh, you was just the one to introduce them to the lifestyle. Now they still say their little racist remarks behind your back, or they'll say it to your face. The guy who I was in a relationship with, who was 45, he had a white friend who sat up here and said the word nigga in front of him, and I was just like, hold on, what's going on? What made you feel comfortable enough to say that around me?
The main reason why I think, you know, these people are able to get away with so much is because they have a culture of being fake. They are not direct people. They are very indirect, right? They never tell you what they really mean. They never say what they really think. They're always tap dancing around the truth. So if you're dealing with a race of people that are liars and like misleading people, you'll get away with all types of stuff. They create the perception of being polite and being well-mannered. Meanwhile, they do all of the same crap behind closed doors.
Public service announcement. If you're the only black person in your friend group, you should probably not be in that friend group. I see it happens time and time again. And this is from somebody. I am from Mississippi. Born, raised here. I grew up with so many white friends. And I've stayed a night with some of my best friends in middle school, high school, that were white. I've had white friends spend the night with me at my house, quite literally. I don't know if you think that it's a fucking badge of honor. It's not. It's not. Why would you want to be I'm sick of this. Like, it never fails. It always happened. Did y'all not learn from the lady, the black lady? She went to stay with her friends and she was the only black one there. Some sort of color is needed other than you. I don't give a fuck if they're Mexican, they could be Hispanic, but you need some other form of color. My kids could never. They've been there ever. You can't go to an Easter egg hunt if you're the only black kid there. And I don't have kids yet. I'm just saying, because me and my white friend were still really, really good friends to this day. Like, real good friends. But if my child is the only black child at all of your events, now I'm looking at you funny. And I'm questioning everything. Oh, you cannot stay the night. You can't go over there to the Easter egg hunt. You can't go celebrate the 4th of July. You can't even go over there for St. Patrick's Day if you're the only black kid there. I don't know. It's just sad. I don't agree with black men or black women being in interracial relationships when they know that their partner's parents or grandparents are racist. Why would you do that? And it's not even about you. You have to think about how your child is gonna feel when they grow up and their family members treat them differently because of the color of their skin. Like, are you actually on drugs?
On the recent passing of Nolan Wells and the topic of that you should never be the only black person in a group of white people, I want to remind you guys that no matter what shade of black you are a target in this world. And still acknowledge that darker skinned people are the most oppressed and racially profiled again. And I'm telling you this as a half black woman. I feel like a lot of people who are more white passing or who don't look black, or they don't look monoracially black, they think they're safe. And I'm here to remind you that you're not. You see, racist white people, these sick white people, a lot of them who we see tend to be in the South. When you go to the core root of how these sick people think, it's rooted in jealousy. So yes, boy or girl, you may be lighter, you may be passing. But if we understand that a lot of the hate, the racism, the evil spirit is rooted in jealousy, and a lot of the jealousy reasons change from right? Like white men who are racist towards black men, the root of their jealousy may be different than why white women from racist white women who are jealous of black women. Hence they become racist and evil. And I get, as black folks, collectively, we are not evil people. So we can't fathom, like, I mean, we can understand why people be jealous of black people, right? Genes, genetic, athleticism, black skin, how it glistens in the sun, our hair texture. And it can just be as simple as your lips being fuller. It could be as simple as you tanning easily. It could be as simple as someone knowing you have black ancestry. Someone knowing you're half black. You're black at the end of the day and you're a target. But why? But why? Why are racist people, like, we don't, like, there's no excuse. But it comes down to jealousy. It could be as simple as a girl knowing you are half black and looking at your lips and it's like a hatred. Like, I'm telling you guys, it could be as simple as a black boy just being stronger or faster than his white colleague. And the fury and envy and jealousy, it's so real. You can never be the token black person or the passing black person in a country, I'm talking about the USA specifically, in a country where your name could even sound black. An employer could never see your face, but if your name sound black, oh, sorry, we not hiring. We gonna go with the Karen, with the Ashley, with the Mary. This is like a real thing, y'all. Like, this is a real thing. And then it goes deeper. Look at all these women, all these white women are getting lip injections. They're doing shots. They're doing all these fake tans. It goes so deep. These people want to be black. They want all the benefits of being black, right? They want the genetic. They want the drive. They want the heart. They want the soul without actually being black, without actually having the skin color, like being black, without actually being. So they rape, they pillage, they hang, they lynch, they do it all for years, for generations. But you know what I believe? No justice, no peace.
Hey, babe, something that I had to learn the hard way growing up is that it's not okay being the only black friend in any friend group, you know? And the reason why I say that is because usually in those scenarios, from my experience, it's because you're considered the token black person in the group. And what I mean by that is there is a specific reason that this friend or this friend group or whatever is allowing you to be around them or, you know, wanting to be your friend. I had a friend and she was Hispanic. And I remember one day randomly, she was like, you know, you're the only black friend that I have. Do you know that? And I was like, no, I wasn't aware of that. Things changed when I was like, well, why am I the only black friend that you have? And her response was, because you're a different black. It threw me for a loop. And I remember I was like, well, what do you mean I'm a different black? And I was holding myself together because I was trying to have the conversation. And she was like, well, you know, you're not loud and, you know, you smell different and, you know, you keep up with your hair. So that's what you think the average black person is. That's what you think the average black person is. And because I'm not loud, in your opinion, and my hair is put together in a way that you like, that makes me an exceptional black? He said, yeah. What, is there a problem with that? Like, what's wrong with that? That was the end of our friendship. Because in my mind, I knew that this was something that was not only taught, but this is something that you're running with now because, again, this was in our senior year, maybe after. So you know better.
They show their ass every time. They gonna tell themselves every time. You smell different and your hair is done is crazy. Cause like, I feel like these people genuinely think that these are compliments. What are y'all expecting? That's when she said he smelled different, he smelled good, but those aren't even personality traits. Those are basic requirements for being human and having a body. I had a lady in my job, like one time she was sizing me up and kind of like tilted her head and she was like, you smell good. Like, don't piss me off. I'm not even the kind of person to laugh at racist shit. Like, that wasn't funny. I'm gonna stare at you and it's gonna be awkward. It'd be the projection for me because we know who the real stinkabutts are. Nonetheless.
W.E.B. DuBois discovered a theory called the double consciousness, psychological split of seeing yourself both through your own eyes, i.e. your African heritage, with European upbringing and education.
Black Americans have seen themselves partially through a white gaze, which we know has historically demonized us. So some black people live with constant pressure of not wanting to be a stereotype, and they're hyper aware of what white people think of them. Having a white friend group can feel like you've broken past that judgment of like, oh, I'm one of the good ones, I'm so quirky, I'm so different. But white people are not the pillar. Being around them is not the fix for the overall systemic problem. We need to stop going in white spaces trying to make white people unsee whatever it is that they see about us. You see what I'm saying?
One thing I will never be again is the token black friend. I grew up in predominantly white spaces my entire life. I was that black friend that white people felt comfortable saying racist stuff to. They would say something completely insane and follow it by, Christy, you know what I mean? Like, you understand? I'm not racist. Finally moving out of that mindset, moving into Atlanta, going to a diverse school was the best thing to ever happen to me. I recently saw a video too that said 75% of white people do not have a friend of color. And to even be one white person's one friend of color, a lot of ignorance is said all the time. And if you know, you know. With that being said, I just always feel like if you're that one black friend in a friend group, I feel your pain, I feel you. I've been there before, and the only way to escape that is to actively remove yourself out of those situations and to use the same excuse, well, there's no black people where I live, like, I'm just da da da. I hear those excuses all the time. There are black people everywhere. And yes, you might not grow up in a town where, you know, you have a lot of people that look like you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there becomes a certain point where you're actively putting yourself in certain situations. Now, I love all my friends. I love them so much. And I have friends of all different ethnicities, all different colors. And I love my white friends. But with that being said, I'm finally at a point where I can look in a friend group or look at my friends, and all my friends are different races. I don't have just white friends, which was the case for a chunk of my life. It is so important to be around people that look like you, and understand what it means to be a person of color in this country.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that bullshit of like, I've never been around black people. You're my first black friend. You're my only black friend. I've had to come to my own conclusion that this is like a test that they do. Like, this is the what kind of nigga are you test. Are you going to confront me or are you going to let me get away with it? We have way too many fucking coons who keep putting the battery in their back. Keep putting the battery in their back. Y'all continue to let other groups of people disrespect y'all and y'all want nothing in return.
My opinion, get your lick back. Get your lick back.
Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all genuinely think that white people don't know when they're being racist, or is it subconscious? Because I'm at the point where there's too much information for y'all to be playing dumb. I don't fucking care. You mean to tell me that you've never had a black friend, but as soon as you get one, your gut reaction is to test the waters and be racist? It's like, because y'all have nothing else to talk about around black people. Oh, okay, right, got it. The way I see friendship is that it's a place where you can exhale. So when you're the only black person in a friend group, their understanding of normal has already been built before you got there. I've been seeing a bunch of white people come out about this Nolan Wells case, and I feel like we low-key do need to drag the family just a little bit because to an extent, y'all knew better. But at the same time, we don't need white people warning us about other white people. We know. I forget, a lot of you niggas really do need white people to guide y'all. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, the gears don't start turning until white people speak up. So, of course, some white people are cool and we have allies and shit, but some of y'all who get on here and base y'all's content solely around black issues, it does get performative. I'm not even gonna hold you. No shade to people who got white friends. I don't think that having friends outside of your race is gonna necessarily end in death. But like, at the end of the day, we have to be real. Like, there's only so much in common. They're not gonna understand your experience. And let's be honest, a lot of them don't care to know. They don't just want to have you around for a good time or for smacks. Let's be real. But let me know in the comments, have y'all ever been the only black person in a friend group? And if you have, where did you draw the line? I really appreciate the support in my last video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.